Hey everybody, my name's Lisa. I'm the Silver Stitcher. This is my channel about mostly cross stitch, some little life updates, and if you are returning, thank you. I appreciate you coming back, and if you are new here, then thank you. I appreciate you being here. It's been maybe a month or so since I did a video, and I got a few things to show you, not much. I have a couple of FOs, no FFOs because I'm lazy like that, and if he participates, my new buddy, since the last time I had a video, actually just a couple days after, I did a thing and got a new baby, and his name is Nix, and he's a black cat, and I needed him. So I remember my husband saying, "We are not having a black cat." Well, let me rephrase that. "We're not having a cat." To which I simply replied, "Okay." So right now I'm in my sunroom. He's over here playing death trap with a beetle. As you can see, we live in an area of pine trees and hardwoods, and while they're gorgeous, they do bring in some of the large beetles and such. So yeah, I hope everybody's had a good week, a good day. Hope you're able to do what you want. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Doesn't matter if you're stitching or whatever kind of craft you like, as long as you're happy doing it. What else have I done? I'm watching him. I'm sorry. He's about 10 weeks old, so still very much a kid. We went almost 2 weeks ago to Sevierville, Tennessee, and I attended one of Katrina Boyd's retreats that she holds there yearly. It was beautiful. It was relaxing. We went up on Thursday. It's about a 4-hour drive for us. We went up on Thursday. We came home on Sunday, and it was raining the day that we drove up. I didn't care. Rain's like my favorite thing in the world. And so we went up. Instead of going through the majority of the National Forest, we drove up toward Asheville and cut across, and no, I did not get to go to Sassy Jack's this time, and I was very disappointed, but road trip, right? Another road trip. So, like I said, we left Thursday. My daughter came up on Friday night after work, and we spent the weekend together, and on Sunday we went back down through Gatlinburg. And one of my greatest fears in life is heights. Nope. Not climbing anything any taller than myself. But I decided that weekend that I wanted to go visit the Sky Bridge. And if you're not familiar with Gatlinburg's new Sky Bridge, it is, I don't know about, maybe North America's longest suspension bridge over a ravine, a gorge, a gully, whatever you want to call it. But you ride a ski lift type deal up to the top, and then you cross the bridge. And I wanted to do that so badly. We got there. I had contemplated purchasing tickets online ahead of time, and I was kind of glad I didn't. Although, even if you're not able to use them for the day that you purchase them, you can still use them for the remainder of that calendar year. However, it's November, and the reality of me getting back there before January 1st is nil. So I didn't purchase the tickets ahead of time. We got there and the line was about 2 hour wait. So no. I do want to do it at some point, although I may change my mind between now and then. I don't know. He's still torturing this poor beetle. So, what did I do? I worked, of course, we stitched. We stitched some, we laughed a lot, we ate. If you've never had a chance to get to a Katrina Boyd retreat, it's a good experience. It's very laid back. It's come and go as you please. There are no set schedules or times other than, what time the stitching room opens. But I was able to take a nap every day by myself in the room because my husband and daughter were out doing things, and it was very relaxing and much needed. So, what have I been working on? I feel like I've really only worked, I feel like I did a lot of things, a little bit on several things, but I don't have really anything to show for it. Yeah, I mean, are y'all ever like that? Because I'm like, I know I put the time in. I know I did, but sometimes it's hard to see. And that can be discouraging, but, every stitch counts. So I'm just going to start off with what I've been working on the most lately. This has kind of been my work project. My last video I said that I wanted to pretty much only take things to work that are kind of self-contained, put it in one project bag, have all the threads, everything in one bag. Because I have one of the double-sided floss storage containers, and I'm not opposed to taking that anywhere. I'll take it to work, but it's gotten to where it's just kind of cumbersome. Excuse me. So if it can be self-contained, that's my ideal. So this is what I've been working on lately. This is the blue flower, and it's Night Walk Down. And my good friend Caroline had this kitted and sent to me as a gift. And I love it, and I love Caroline. And so this is what I've been working on. And Leslie Hurley, Fat Cat Flossing, had mentioned doing a stitch along with it, maybe first of the year. Yeah, I couldn't wait. So some of my flosses, they're a mess. Here's my flosses, because yeah, it's a working project. They're gorgeous. However, this bamboo, which is called for, in the owl, some of the flowers, and the peacock, are not going to show up on my fabric. So I've had to make some substitutions, which is alright. I'm not mad about it. So let me just try to get this off this little hoop that I've been using. And it's going to have hoop marks, and I'm going to iron it. I'm not going to iron it while I'm working on it for a video. It's just not going to happen. So I'm really enjoying this, and the hoop that I'm using is just one of these little plastic hoops. I think I got it at Joann's or Michael's or somewhere, and it's pretty inexpensive. I have several sizes, but this works for me. And so I've been working pretty steadily on her. This is the chart calls for, I think, a 40 count from Kitten Stitcher. Model is stitched on a 40 count Shrinking Violet from Kitten Stitcher, which has beautiful modeling on it, if you can see that. Mine is a 36 count porcelain, which doesn't have the modeling as much. Very, very faint, kind of a pinkish tinge to it. And so this is where I am. She has the moon in her hand. Oh, that's another thing. That's where I discovered that the bamboo was not going to work on this fabric, was the moon. Because it was outlined, the crescent was outlined with, I think, bee's knees, which is this obviously honeyed sort of color in here, and then the bamboo. And it just, first of all, to me, didn't really look like a real moon, and secondly, it's not going to show up, that bamboo. So I changed it to, what did I change it to? I don't know. Something in my stash that is unnamed. It's looking kind of purplish gray, greeny here. It's kind of shades of gray and silver, which to me is the moon. So she has the moon in her hand, and that's part of the border. And that border, y'all, that border's no joke. It's solidly stitched. I haven't filled it in, but I did change out, like I said, the moon. She will have Smyrna crosses for a garland on her head. And there's my Nyx, who is still torturing a beetle. You can't really see it. I gave him green eyes, but I'm going to change those to be a little more vibrant and show up. Nyx, baby, come here. See if he'll come and speak. Probably not speak. This is my Nyx. Yeah. He doesn't want to stay. Goodbye. But he's a sweetheart. So that's what I've been working on pretty much every day at work. And unfortunately, we've had a lot of days at work lately. We've had a lot of overtime. I haven't been called in the past 2 weeks, so that's good. But yeah, lots and lots of overtime, which will decrease this month because our center policy is that we don't take off 3 days before or after a holiday. So that kind of cuts down on the overtime a little bit during the holidays. It helps. It sounds like, well, you're obviously not allowed to take off on the holiday, but also 3 days before or after. So, worked on that. I have picked back up my temperature balloons. And this is from Sarah, Stitch Your Mommy. You can find her on Etsy. And this is her temperature balloons for this year. And this is where I am. I've only changed a couple of things. Each little section of the balloon, and they're all a different design. I'm not going to take it off the Q-snap, but you can see, started off, this is the first of the year here. So January, February, maybe part of March. The very, very dark red, I used 816 on this. I decided to include those for my family's birthdays. This light, oh y'all. So for mine and my husband's anniversary and our children and grandchildren's birthdays. So you can see we had, it's like, ooh, we had a very, very hot summer here in Georgia, and this is September, and then we're getting down into October here, so it's cooling off. But this summer was rough. It was rough. There's no doubt about that. So that's where I am on that. I picked that back up last night. I showed you guys in my last video working on a new Heaven and Earth design. Did I bring it? I did. I thought I did. It's Night Walk. That's Blue Flower. This is Bonded by the Rain. Just kidding. Just kidding. Now he's in a box. Because, you know, why not? Yes, I have part of my chart on here. I'm going to show it because it's cut up and you can't tell anything from it anyway. This designer is Leonid Afremov. I apologize. We may have to do this again. This is how much I've gotten. I usually start in the top left-hand corner. No, the top right-hand corner on the opposite side from most people. And this time I decided to do a diagonal. So this is, right here is about the page break, and this is part of another page. So, sun. I haven't really worked on this a whole lot since my last video, but I'm still in love with it. What do I have? What do I have? What else did I work on? I took this to retreat. This is from Busby Designs, and it's Plague Dr. McKenna. Some of you may remember this. There was a male plague doctor, and then Busby Designs was impressed with McKenna, and I mean, let's be honest, who's not? And so he designed a female plague doctor and named her McKenna. So I fell in love with it, as one does. But in my need to be different, I decided that I'm doing her in all beads. And I did work on her at retreat. And everything I did, I had to rip out. So she doesn't have much. That's really washed out. But you can see her shape, basically. This fabric is from Color Cascades in Australia, from Tammy. And you can see it's opalescent. I believe it's a 25 count. I don't remember the name. And I purchased beads from, I ordered them in bulk from, is it Fire Mountain Gems, I think? Anyway. So she's basically halfway done. I really should be more prepared for these things. You kind of get the idea there. But I worked over here, and everything that I did, I was like 2 or 3 little stitches off. So I took this out. But I do love her. One day. And she's not heavy, contrary to what you would think with beads. I think she's fabulous. So, McKenna, I have not forgotten about you, girl. Have not forgotten about you. Trying to put things away, because if not, Nyx doesn't really mess with my stitching stuff very often, but I mean, watch it fate, right? So the next thing I worked on, oh, I did work on this for a little bit the last night. This is a Dimensions kit. You've seen it, I believe. One of the ladies from Stitchin' and Doodah finished this, and I loved it. And this is the mason jars with the flowers. And it came, you know, with the white 14 count Aida. I don't mind that. I didn't mind that at all, except I didn't want it white. So I put all the floss from the kit just in floss away bags. And I decided that I was gonna dye the fabric. I don't think this is what I was going for when I dyed it, but I really like it. And it looks like that it's difficult to see right now. I don't even remember what colors of it that I used, but some of the colors are really popping, and you can see I started back stitching the last night of the retreat, and that's going to make all the world of difference. This is another work project for me, because it's, you know, one bag. Needle minder is from Gina's Unique Boutique. She has a group on Facebook, and I believe she has a Etsy site. Love it because it's 911. You guys know that's what I do. And it's the Cheshire Cat, and I don't think you could read it, but it says we're all mad here. And if you work in public safety, you know that's true. And you don't have to be crazy to work there, because we'll train you. True story. So that might go to work with me this week. Because once I look at it, I want to work on it. So who knows? We'll see. All right. What have I finished? What have I finished? What have I finished? I had a finish at retreat. Woo! You know, have to ring the bell. Have to ring the bell. It was a very small finish, but it's a finish nonetheless, and they all count. And I don't have the chart anymore because I passed it along at retreat to my friend Kim, along with several others that I've already stitched. But it's Prairie Schoolers Santa from 1989. And here's my finish. And no, it's not ironed because I haven't done anything since retreat. The only thing I changed about this was the color of the linen. This is a 30 count English Ivy. I don't know who makes it. I picked this up at one of our guild events, Sampler Guild of Georgia. I picked it up at one of our events. It had belonged to a friend of someone, and when she passed away, they were destashing for her family. And it was a very, very large cut. So I've gotten several out of this. This red is, hold please. I believe that it's cranberry. I've used two different colors of reds on my Santas. Yeah. Gentle Arts. I'm just kidding. Because I can't hold anything apparently. This is Gentle Arts Cranberry. It has a really good variegation without being over the top. But I've also used this cat. Country Redwood for some of them. So I'm kind of going back and forth. The only other thing I'll do to this one, they're all being finished into little pillows with a green and white ticking on the back. The only thing that I'll do different to this one is I'm going to add my son's initials on this. As most of you know, my son passed away last year, and his birth year is 1989, and this is the year of the Santa, and I thought it was really appropriate that it has cardinals on it. So I'm going to put his initials on that. And with that thought, I'll probably put my children's initials on each of the subsequent ones that I do that correspond with their birth years. So that's that. And I keep all of my Prairie Schooler. Did I say Plum Street earlier? If I did, y'all know what I meant. I knew you were hollering at me. Prairie Schooler Santas and this beautiful Mama Lee bag. Isn't that gorgeous? It has nothing to do with Christmas, but everything to do with everything that I like. Beautiful interior fabric. So that's that. The other thing that I finished, I did not finish this at retreat. I finished this prior to. And I may have to just insert a picture because I don't think this is going to show up very well. But this is my, no, y'all aren't going to be able to see that. I'm going to hold it up, but it has a lot of see-through. This is Cirque de Cercle. No. Don't ask me to say it. It's the triangles. And it is stitched on 25 count white opalescent from I just said it, Color Cascades in Australia. And I'll fold it in half so you can see a little bit. What are you doing, Nix? Now, this floss, I showed you this in a previous video. This is my own floss that I dyed. I used 3 colors of RIT, and it's slightly variegated, but it's done. I have a plan for how I want to finish it because I also did the circles in a black and gray variegated from DMC, and I did the hearts in the red DMC variegated. I think it's 115. And if I ever get around to doing Blackbird Designs 'Tis the Season, the cardinal, then that's the red I'll use for that cardinal. I already have it kitted up. The last thing I finished, I think I showed this in my last video, but the last thing I finished was from Rosewood Manor. It's a little kit. It's winter. And the kit included the threads. They're beautiful threads. They're cotton, highly variegated. I would definitely recommend trying them at least once if you never have. And I stitched mine on a little scrap piece of 40 count Legacy. And that's how mine turned out. And I love it. And no, I didn't iron this one either. It's all good. My plan is I have a little blackboard frame thing that I painted dark gray, almost looks black, and I'm just going to wrap this on some mat board and stick it on there with some magnets because that way I can change it out. So if you are interested in having this chart with these threads, I'm going to be passing this along. And if you will leave me a comment with what you like about winter, you like winter, you don't like winter, your winter activities. If it's not winter where you are, if you're in the southern hemisphere, tell me that too. Any comment with the word winter, and I'll do a drawing for my next video. So let me know if you guys want this. What have I acquired since we last spoke? I'm part of Trisha at 3 Hour Threads Nest Egg, and I got my last shipment. Now this was right after my last video, so it's almost time for me to receive my new ones. But all last year I had been part of the Gentle Arts Nest Egg, and she had sent out an email that series, these colors are about to repeat. And I have a lot of them starting with the first of the alphabet. I'm not going to read all these off, but you can see they're gorgeous. I love these Gentle Arts. So if we wanted to switch to another brand of floss so that we don't end up with duplicates in our stash, this would be the time to do so. So this is my last Gentle Arts, and going forward I'll be receiving, what did I decide on? Classic Colorworks. I'll be receiving Classic Colorworks. I don't have very many of those. I know they're very popular. I have not used very many of them. It's not that I dislike them. I just haven't had them to use. So that's what my next nest egg from Trisha will be. I'm also in Floss Club from Victoria Motto. Looking right at it, can't see it. Victoria Motto sampler floss, and these are the ones from last month. I'm going to be honest with you, I've been in this club for about 3 months, maybe 4 now. And the first one that I used was on the night walk down. They're beautiful, beautiful floss. You get a ton of them. You can see this is a large amount of floss. I love this one. It's Broomstick. That's me. Broomstick. I'm in the Primitive Club for her. And then just today in the mail, excuse me, I have an itchy nose. Just today in the mail, I got my new ones. So I haven't really had a chance to look through them well yet. And I love that she puts them in these long cellophane bags, and they're just in here like this, straight. So they're not bent, they're not twisted, they're just, that's how it comes, and I love it. Okay, let's check these. See what we got. Need something to back this. Through the Woods. That's showing to be a little yellowish, but it's very nicely variegated greens. Kind of a sage to a bay leaf, maybe. So that's the green. Me. Ghost Town. That's looking like an ecru, but it's not. It's gray variegated. Raspberry Truffle. That's pretty true. Plum Pudding. It's not as brown as it looks. Yes, I am using, instead of a white mat board, I'm using Creepy Cloth from the Dollar Tree that I didn't use at Halloween. And my person who is 6 saw this in the store and said, "Look, you can stitch on that." Yeah, You probably could. Iceberg. That's pretty true. It's a very light icy blue to gray. And evergreen pine. So those are my colors that I received today. I think Nyx has given up on the beetle. So I got just a couple of things in. I haven't been doing a whole lot of shopping online lately. There are beautiful things out there. I just haven't purchased them. One that I did purchase, this was from McKenna 1884 Stitchery. This was one of her charity items that I picked up, and I love it. And it's Keeza Campbell, 1796. Look at that house. And look at the border, y'all. I love the crowns with their initials. And I'm definitely going to have to do that. I love that. That is just gorgeous. The tree. And of course, that'll be Nyx. A little black cat instead of a little black dog. But it's beautiful. So I got that. I also got this from her. We Know Where We Love Her, Bindi, Michelle Garrett, Stitch Always. I thought this would make a really cute little gift. Possibly I have an idea for that. I got my copy in of Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. This is the winter fall edition. No, Christmas winter mega issue. Because apparently I can't read either. And there were a couple things that I was really drawn to in here. I'm not going to do a whole flip through. I've seen other people do that. And so if you don't subscribe, there's others. This is one of my favorites, and Marlene Stitching by the Lake has already completed this, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is from Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette, and it is Sarah's Christmas urn. Sarah's Christmas urn. I love the double edge crochet. I'm sure I'll probably have some of that, or I can just stitch around it and crochet that. That's not very hard to do. I love that. What else? I don't do punch needle. So why, you ask, would I get a magazine that has half punch needle? My answer is, why not? I might one day. There's so much information in these magazines. The other one that I really loved is Winter's Peace. This is from Beth at Summer House Stitchworks. That's beautiful, and you could use any colors that you like, any charms. You can really personalize that, so that's my issue. When I got the charity items from McKenna, she threw in some of my favorites because she knows me. And she sent me some dinky dyes, silks, and those are just gorgeous. I love dinky dyes. They're some of my favorite silks to work with. So, got those. Love them. Thank you, McKenna. I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, and I went to Michael's today. And I'm all into planners, pins, stickers, notebooks, you name it. Love it. And I've been purchasing sticker packages. These are from the Paper Studio. I'm pretty sure you can order them online if you don't have a Hobby Lobby near you. It's just, you know, stickers. They're cute. They're just something to add a little pizzazz to your planner or to your journal. If my person sees these, I won't have them anymore. So, and today I was at Michael's, and I know a lot of us crafters really enjoy a traveler's journal. Traveler's journals are just little, exactly what they say. They're just little journals. And I found this one. It's leather. There's nothing really remarkable about it. It's got the little envelopes for you to place things in, and it has 2 little notebooks. I have some little notebooks that I purchased that are about this size recently. It was like 3 to a package. But these were this color, so it may have been a previous year. This color was marked down to like $4, I think. $4. And the other colors of this exact model were like 10. So I bought 3. Yep, that's what I did. So what am I doing upcoming? I'm going to continue to work on keeping my house intact from this cat tearing it up. I don't have any retreats planned until February, and that's another Katrina Boyd. It'll be in Orange Beach, Alabama. It's always a beautiful time. It's usually cool enough to be comfortable, but warm enough to be comfortable at the same time, if that makes sense. So that's coming in February. I'm looking forward to that. And then in March, we'll have our annual Sampler Guild of Georgia retreat in Helen, Georgia. So for the next couple of weeks, I'll continue working on Night Walk Down, and I might work on my Heaven and Earth a little bit, and I might start another Santa. Not sure what I might do. But I hope whatever y'all are doing, you're enjoying it and you're having a good time doing it. And I hope to see y'all soon. And if you, like I said, if you want this Rosewood Manor, just leave me a note telling me what you like or don't like about winter, and I'll do the drawing for my next video. So until then, bye. Thanks for stopping.